Women's college basketball, LSU taking on Alabama. Angel Reese, whoa, the cross-up, the scoop layup, and one. She broke Sylvia Fowles' LSU record for double-doubles, consecutive double-doubles. Fowles congratulated her on video. Congratulations on that.
Hello and welcome into Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, as always, joined by the Budman, Buddy Songy, here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. It's a great place to come get something to eat, catch a game, a great bar, great food at great prices. Come check us out. Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. You saw in the opening clip, Angel Reese secures her 20th consecutive double-double, passing Sylvia Fowles. Budman, a big deal, not only for the program, but, Fowles, one of the best women basketball players on the planet in all history. Great company for Angel Reese. LSU women's basketball gets their 20th in a row, sitting at number 4 in the AP poll. We'll also talk some men's basketball as we tape here on Tuesday, the 24th of January. Coach Mann's team will be taking on the Razorbacks in Fayetteville later on tonight. 6 o'clock tip, Budman. They've lost 6 in a row after dropping a tough game to Tennessee. So a lot to talk about with basketball. Also, NFL playoffs going on. Joey Burrow going back to the AFC Championship to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Great matchup this weekend. We'll talk a lot about those matchups coming up this weekend and a whole lot more here on Tigers Roar. Welcome in the Budman. Good to see you, dude.
Good to see everybody out there. We have the impending showers and 25 to 30 mile an hour wind coming in here on this Tuesday, January 4. Of course, it is 2023 and hard to believe, JP, as we turn towards basketball. Men have been tough to watch. Let's not mince any words. They are mired in a very tough losing streak. They beat Arkansas in Matt McMahon's first SEC game.
Yep.
I'm worried about the revenge factor for Arkansas tonight, 6 o'clock on the ESPN network. You mentioned the ladies. And, look, we know Angel Reese, of course, broke the record of Sylvia Fowles, 20 consecutive double-doubles. Sylvia, real cool. I'm sure you saw it on Twitter, posting congratulations before the end of the game. Anytime you go into Tuscaloosa and you blow out Alabama in any sport, it is fun to watch. And, of course, as we know, the Lady Tigers now have a couple days off, actually 6 days off. They will host the Lady Vols of Tennessee next Monday night. It is a whiteout game. It will be a sellout. So there is your excitement for hoops. Of course, as we know, Baseball Media Day this Friday. We'll give you a bunch of that coming up. LSU #1 across the board in all the preseason polls. And how about this matchup? Joe Burrow and the Bengals have defeated Kansas City and Mahomes 3 consecutive times. Joey B and Cincinnati. Look, I'm the one that should have DA on my forehead. I thought with the 3 new offensive linemen, they would struggle, but they just played fantastic. You know you have to get rid of the football quickly. Burrow, Chase, and the rest of the Bengals, statement win. Now you go to Kansas City, which I have people that go all across the NFL. Buffalo is a great place to watch a game. A lot of college atmosphere, but there was snow on the ground.
Yeah, lots of
Kansas City, that will be an incredible atmosphere if Burrow and the Bengals can start as quick as they did. Oh, by the way, the vaunted high ankle sprain. You do not ever want to hear a coach or player say he's got the high ankle sprain. Mahomes will be limited. You got to figure they're going to shoot him up and wrap his ankle up, and he will probably play. But if Cincinnati can duplicate the way they played last weekend, they could be going back to the Super Bowl against?
I'm picking the Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Gotta take the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts has done a fantastic job. San Francisco and Philly Sunday on Fox at 2:05. And, of course, Cincinnati at Kansas City in the 5:30 to 5:45 range this weekend. But look, still plenty of other stuff, but Angel Reese, the highlight, and made Sports Center last night.
Also, while we're talking some NFL, the New Orleans Saints decided that they will most likely stick with their offensive coordinator and Pete Carmichael. There's going to be no changes made besides the tight ends coach that they already let go. They don't plan on letting go of any more assistants. So now the quarterback search for the Saints becomes even more extreme. The Saints need to figure out what they're going to do in that room. Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston did not get the job done last year. Both of these guys are not coming back to the Saints locker room, so they got to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback. They're keeping Pete Carmichael, but they also understand they need more offensive production. It's tough to watch the Saints when you're at home watching the Buccaneers make the playoffs with a losing record. They go get stomped by the Cowboys, and the Cowboys, just get beat down by the 49ers in this last weekend divisional round. Credit Brock Purdy, the rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, for just doing enough, managing the game to stick with that phenomenal 49ers defense. It's been the best defense of football all season, but do enough to beat the Cowboys. But, man, I don't know if you watched the whole game or if you even saw the end, but Mike McCarthy receiving some heat for the last second play. There was only like 7 seconds left on the clock. The Cowboys needed a miracle play. You put Zeke Elliott at center.
Yeah,
he gets mauled by the linebacker. A 7-yard.
Like
worse than that. I mean, I've driven up better plays than that for flag football, but it's tough right now to be a Cowboys fan.
Look, let's start with the Saints. We don't come on here on our radio shows or Facebook or YouTube or TV and want to see somebody fired. Go see Piper
there.
over here.
It's back there.
We don't sit here and get any fun by saying this guy should be fired. But I hate to tell you, Pete Carmichael, his first year away from obviously Sean Payton, I just thought he left a lot to be desired with play calling. And we also know that Andy Dalton looks like he's coming back. They're probably going to snip and clip Jameis Winston. Obviously, what you're going to do with Mike Thomas, is he going to be back? Jarvis Landry going to be back. Chris Olave and others had good rookie years. But that being said, man, here's the other thing hanging in balance. Sean Payton is interviewing. A lot of people think Denver's the favorite. Arizona is in the mix. There's no way in hell he's going to go and coach the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott as his quarterback and Jerry Jones as his owner. That all being said, Mickey better stand up and have some coconuts and demand more than just one first-round pick for Sean Payton. So all of that is in the mix. But I got to be honest with you, I'm a little more excited about LSU in year 2 with Brian Kelly than I am with Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael and the Saints in year 2.
I'm more excited about Coach Eric Dooley at Southern than I am with Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen in New Orleans. But that also remains to be seen. We'll talk some basketball return from this break. Before we take our first break, I'll remind you guys, check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. It's a great way to keep up with everything we post here at the Pelican. While you're at our page, go ahead and click subscribe and click notifications so you're ready notified every time we post something new there on our YouTube page. Once again, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Tigers Roar.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
You could be The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every.
We continue here on Tigers Roar, talking some LSU basketball, women's basketball to be precise. Coach Kim Mulkey's team, 20-0, sitting at number 4 in the AP poll. But, man, great start for Coach Kim Mulkey and her team. She didn't expect to be undefeated. That wasn't one of their goals, she said, with 8 or 9 games into the SEC schedule. Playing outstanding basketball, and it starts on the defensive side of the ball.
Strength of schedule is not there, but the net is very highly ranked. Of course, in case you have not put this down on your calendar, Super Bowl Sunday is February 12th. The Lady Tigers travel to South Carolina to play.
The only undefeated team?
Yeah, at 1 o'clock or whatever. And so you'll be able to watch the women play South Carolina and then watch the Super Bowl. And I'm like you. I would love to see Joe Burrow and the Bengals take care of business. I did not think they would get back. I thought that those O-line injuries would debunk them. But that could be a special Sunday if you watch Angel Reese. Now, look, they've got to play a little bit better. I've watched South Carolina, and they are loaded. And the one thing Carolina has more, not only Aaliyah Boston, but they've got big
size. Yeah.
And you worry about foul trouble. But LSU did play appreciably better, and as you said with Coach Mulkey, just a fantastic coach. Oh, by the way, 2 of her recruits, Williams, the best player in the country from North Louisiana, and Del Rosio is the big girl coming in, the 6'5" post player. They have both made the McDonald's All-American team. So, once again, she will have a couple of ladies coming in that are going to be on the McDonald's, in the McDonald's game. But, man, can you imagine what it's going to be like with the talent they have? I think Kim Mulkey and the Lady Tigers are 1 year away from possibly winning it all. But, hey, even if they got to the Final Four this year, would be fantastic. But they still have some missing pieces, in my opinion.
Yeah, we do have a graphic from Miss Angel Reese, a huge accomplishment. 20 consecutive double-doubles, passing LSU great Sylvia Fowles. There you see the graphic, all the points and the rebounds. In this last game against Alabama, Bud, man, she had 14 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, but they had 4 starters that were in double digits. Jasmine Carson had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. LaDasia Williams, 17 points, 10 rebounds with a double-double. And then Alexis Moore, 17 points, a rebound, 7 assists, and 2 steals. A total team effort, and Coach Kim Mulkey has to love the effort on both sides of the court.
But here's what happened last night. Alabama started to get physical with Angel Reese, and she was complaining to Kim Mulkey, they're bodying me up, they're bodying me up. And Kim says, look, I'm trying to get the attention. The worst thing about watching college basketball, and I don't watch much NBA, of course, obviously the Pelicans are getting Brandon Ingram back soon, but the worst thing that can take away the fun of a game, is it a charge? Yeah. Is it a block? Last night, the Lady Tigers had 3 consecutive charges, not blocks. And so we will wait to see. But I expect Carolina to double Angel Reese and make other players beat them. Carson had 4 3-balls last night. Alexis Morris playing better. And working in a couple of new guards. And so we'll see. But next Monday night, we're taping on Tuesday, January the 24th, next Monday night in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. It is the whiteout, and I'm telling you, that is going to look so cool on TV with the white stadium, and I think it's going to be a hard sellout. I really do. There are very few tickets left, so if you want to be cool, get over to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Matt McMahon and the men host Texas Tech on Saturday, Big 12 SEC Challenge, and neither team has done well, so that will be a snooze fest. Of course, we know McMahon's got to do a better job of getting those guys to play with that we mentality instead of the me mentality.
We'll let you guys hear from Coach Kim Mulkey here on Tigers Roar. Here's her post-game press conference via Zoom, so forgive me, the quality of the picture is not great, but we got to do what we got to do in this era. Here is head coach Kim Mulkey from your Lady Tigers.
Well, just coming off of the Arkansas game, going on the road against a good Alabama team, just what did you like from how your team came out and established itself tonight?
I think it started on defense. I think we put Angel Reese on Brittany Davis, and I think she set the tone with her length and size and everything Brittany, got. She had to work for. And I thought that, those Alabama, they scored 10 threes a game, and we held them to half that. And I just thought our defense was active. I thought that we moved. I thought we communicated. You got 4 kids that scored in double figures. You had 3 kids that scored or that rebounded double figures. We shot the ball really well. Jasmine Carson really, really lit it up from the 3, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Hey, Coach, Angel Reese, obviously with the program record of 20 double-doubles, can you just speak to that accomplishment? And also, she said in the post-game interview that she's found her happiness this year being with you, being with LSU. Can you just elaborate on that? Because it's obviously coming through in her leadership style. I saw her come over to the sideline. The broadcast had it. It looked like she was coaching you up a little bit. She's just very intense now.
Yeah, well, what she did, she came up to me twice. The first time was she was trying to show me how they were bodying her up and guarding her. And I said, yeah, I'm over here griping about it. All I can do is gripe. Just somebody to, she just, Coach, help me here. They just bodying me up, pushing me. And then I'm glad she's happy. We have a team that, honestly, they're all happy. They get frustrated at themselves and think they can do better. But when you're 20-0, you break a record, one of the greatest all-time players ever, not just at LSU and Sylvia Fowles, but in the country, in the history of women's basketball, and you break that record, she's in wonderful company.
Coach, can you talk about kind of what we're seeing with Angel and the rate they're defending her? It's kind of reminiscent of what we saw in the early 90s with Hack-a-Shack when they were really roughing up Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, is that how do you keep her in check and talk to her about maybe temperament and all that? And what do you do with the refs? Talk to them about.
You're right. I think with Hack-a-Shack, y'all can tell me better than anybody. I think most his was they didn't respect his free throw shooting. So every time he touched it, they wanted him to go to the foul line. I don't think that's what it is with Angel. I think she's just a beast, and they don't want her to score. She can make her free throws when she needs to. I think they do body up to her. It's respect, first of all. I don't think it's dirty play in any way. It's just respect, and she's going to have to learn how to handle that, and I think she has. I'm going to work the officials. I will protect her. She's not a person that needs much protection physically because she's got that body. But if they officiate it the way they have been, I see no problem.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, Jasmine with the big shooting night. Just what does that do for y'all's offense whenever she's able to shoot the ball that well and just be that active across the board?
Well, it opens it up for you. It gives you this sigh of relief, like, whew, now we can spread the floor a little bit better and they don't pack it in the paint. Jasmine, I've only had one other kid in all my coaching career that when they miss, you're really disappointed because you expect them to make every shot they take out there. And she, I'm not even going to say she was on fire. That's just what we expect to see from Jasmine. And she shot the ball good. And we just had a good night, guys. And to hold, Alabama to, what was it, 51 points. I don't know if that's a season low or I don't know, but that's pretty good. 18 points on the road in the first half. That's guarding people.
Coach, I know you think you kids are oblivious to some things as far as stats and things of that nature. Were they aware that they dropped in the polls today because they play like they were like a chip on their shoulder for some reason? They dropped for no reason.
I don't know. We don't discuss that. I didn't know we dropped in the polls until somebody casually said it to me when I was walking to eat today. And I said, dropped in the polls. And then I said, well, who jumped ahead of us? And they said Stanford. And that was the extent of it. I didn't discuss it with them. I don't know. I know they do know after the game that Ohio State got beat. Grant, our great media relations guy, told them that now there's 2 undefeated teams, and whatever that means, drop in the polls, undefeated. Look, we don't care. We're trying to win the next game.
Hey, Coach, you're talking about Jasmine shooting. Obviously, she's great in her own right, but has Angel helped that a little bit? Just kind of an inside-out game?
Well, I think anytime you have a big inside that attracts the attention that she does, it helps all of them. Look at LaDeja. LaDeja tonight finishes with a double-double. It allows Deja to go to the boards. It allows her to get some offensive putbacks. If her man is the one that's doubling down, it allows her. She hit some jumpers there at the foul line tonight. I think anytime one player attracts that much attention, it helps everybody. And the great thing about it is Angel's going to find you. If she gets that ball down low or gets it somewhere and they're doubling her, she is always looking to pass it.
So we have time for a couple more questions.
Kim, obviously coming off the close game with Arkansas, as the wins have, and then you have this game, as the wins have mounted, certainly, as you well know, you've been in this position, the teams are gunning for you, giving you your best shot. What does it say to you for your team to come back like this with a dominant effort on the road against a team that is having a very good season and as I said, is gunning for you as a signature win?
We're not going to get too high or get too low. If we lose a game, we're not going to, the sky's not falling. Just do what we do. Get better, defend, rebound, make a few more plays than the other team if it's a close game. Keep putting the foot down when you're putting people away, and don't let up. We're not a team that's going to allow ourselves to get too high or too low. Guys, we didn't ever have undefeated going into the 8th or 9th SEC game as a goal. Who does that? We just want to finish in the upper half of this league, beat the people we're supposed to beat, upset some people maybe along the way that maybe we're not supposed to beat. But we're just not a team that's going to get too high or too low.
One more question.
Coach, real quick, talk about Poa's tenacity on defense. She just seems relentless.
Well, I like her tenacity, period, right now. Poa was not with us until school started in the fall. She was in Australia with her family, very, very close to her family. And it took her a little while to learn some things in the system. And I just think Poa is playing her best basketball. I need to get her more minutes so I can move Alexis to the off guard some and not rely on Alexis have to play 40 minutes of point. But I like that she's looking at the bucket. I like she's aggressive. She scored a lot of points in junior college. Poa can score the ball. But what I really like about her is she's really committed to keeping people in front of her, playing better defense, and I just think she's playing good right now.
All right.
And that was head coach of your Lady Tigers, Kim Mulkey, talking about her victory against Tennessee, Bud, man. Also the polls and how she's not really concerned about dropping to number 4, even though she's still undefeated, one of 2 undefeated teams left in NCAA. Not worried about the undefeated streak. They just want to get better each and every game, and her team gives the effort that proves it. I mean, they are a hard-working bunch of women.
By the way, that Tennessee game next Monday night with the whiteout, I can't remember when it's been a hard sellout. You know, they used to do it in football. One of the coolest things in college football, I know you've seen this before, Penn State with 102,000 with the whiteout. Speaking of football, in case you missed it, Omar Spates, an inside backer, he is a grad transfer, has come in and will fit nicely in Micah Baskerville's spot. Greg Penn could play inside. Now that gives you the flexibility to move Harold Perkins on the edge to jack linebacker, blitzing from the outside, along with when you want to play him in the middle and let him spy on these quarterbacks. So that was a big pickup. They've done tremendous things in the transfer portal, ranked number 1 in the transfer portal. 11 players have come in, 10 on defense. So we'll keep you updated. Spring football, once again, late March when we have dates on that. LSU baseball, as we said, hit 112 home runs last year. Today I predicted that they are going to hit 128 to 130. Obviously, we'll play more games because we expect them to get to Omaha and have a chance to win it all. But, man, you talk about loaded. Jay Johnson. But here's the thing. How much pressure is that going to put on them?
Exactly.
And how will they handle it? It's the toughest thing in sports, whether you've got a 10-shot lead in a golf tournament, whether you are a 15 or 20-point favorite for whatever, but everybody expecting you to win, you still have to do it. And Jay Johnson and the Tigers open up this year in the SEC at A&M, hosting the Tony Vitalos from Tennessee and Arkansas. A&M, Tennessee, Arkansas, first 3 weekends in the SEC. We'll find out real quick if they're the real deal.
And they had the pitchers versus the hitters, live at-bats this past weekend. I saw a lot of exit velocities over 100 miles an hour off the bat. Tommy Tanks, though, 108.6 off the bat, whatever it is. That guy is going to hit a lot of tanks for LSU. Excited for this LSU baseball team.
Dylan Cruz, arguably the best player in the country. Paul Scanes, a really classy young man from Air Force, came over here to finish up.
Did I read that his fastball's at 99.3 or something now?
I'm hearing consistently 96 and touching 98, 99.
Wow.
He could be the Friday night starter. He could also catch and DH. And he has probably one of the best pitching coaches in the world. Coach Johnson, who was with Minnesota and the Twins, is now coaching. So Jay Johnson and the Tigers are going to be a lot of fun to watch. And I think the box, the old days of the box where the hair on the back of your neck stands up, Jay Johnson's going to feel that this year. He didn't feel it in year 1. Right. He's going to feel it in year 2.
Well, you mentioned it. They've been picked number 1 by every magazine that really counts out there. Expectations can be great, but as you mentioned, that puts a lot of pressure on you to perform. And with these number 1 recruiting classes that Coach Jay Johnson's bringing in and all the talent on this roster, Dylan Cruz is likely to be the number 1 overall pick. LSU might have 4 in the top 10 get picked when it's all said and done. A lot of talent on this team. Expectations can be great, but living up to them, it could be the problem. We'll take another quick break here on Tigers Roar. We'll come back, talk some men's basketball. Let you guys hear from Coach Matt McMahon. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Tigers Roar.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremontis.com.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Man, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar, talking LSU basketball. Coach Matt McMahon, in his first year as the head coach of the Tigers, had to rebuild the program from scratch. A couple months ago, there was no one on the roster. Adam Miller then recommits, and the rest is history. He built a squad. They were 12-1 at one point, Bud, man, but they've certainly hit a skid in this last stretch of the SEC play. Lost their last 6, dropping an embarrassing game, 77-56 against Tennessee last night. Tennessee, number 9 in the nation, a very talented team, but LSU did not help themselves. 25 points off turnovers in the first half for the Volunteers, and it never got better for the Tigers. They did improve a little bit in the second half, getting close to the basketball, converting their 2-point shots, shot over 60% in the game, which is an improvement on the year for the Tigers. Still struggling to get open shots, and then to knock down the open shots, but only 2 guys in double figures last night, Bud, man. Way too many turnovers. I wrote it down. 19 turnovers, only 8 assists for the Tigers. Not good enough to win basketball games.
Justice Hill, who came over from Murray State, has left the team. He was playing point guard. Justice Williams is also a guy that's been thrown in there. We know that they've got a couple of other opportunities. Let's just make sure that all of you understand, like you so aptly set up. This was a team that was running on empty. They literally had 0 players on the team, and he had to convince 2 or 3 to come back. He had to recruit, and he had to go transfer portal, and the fact that he had a couple of 3 coming over from Murray State helped him. But look, you got to give Matt McMahon some time to build the program. So now we got a couple of things working here. Number one is LSU going to have the sugar daddies and boosters that will back him and pay some of these incoming recruits NIL money. Number 2, can he get guys in the locker room that think we before me? Look, I like Adam Miller, Ace Miller, but when you shoot 8 balls and don't square up but on 1 or 2, it's not conducive for teamwork. And we asked Coach John Brady about it, and he said, I had a simple solution. And he mentioned Darryl Mitchell. He said, I told D. Mitch, you missed 3 in a row, you're coming to sit by me. I think that Matt McMahon needs to show a little tough love. Their shot selection has left a lot to be desired. Arkansas on the road is a tough place to play. I'd love to sit up here and tell you they have a chance to steal one, but more than likely they don't. You're wasting K.J. Williams, who is their best player by far. But this is a throwaway game. A throwaway season for Matt McMahon. but give him a chance. The other thing that he's fighting is that Will Wade was a very popular coach here. And Will Wade had those coconuts, and he wasn't scared to challenge Tennessee or Kentucky or any of those other teams, and led them to 16-2 in the conference. JP, this team could be 2-16, 3-15, or whatever. I mean, it's not easy to see games. But so you're replacing a cult figure, you're replacing all that talent, and you're trying to rebuild. And so, how much money and emphasis will LSU use to bring back LSU basketball? But Scott Woodward had a choice. Does he keep Will Wade and gamble that the NCAA? They had both of them up on the firing squad. Football for a variety of reasons, and basketball. I think he sacrificed a little bit of basketball and probably told the NCAA, if it helps our cause, go pull a pink slip on Will Wade. A lot of people are still upset about that.
Well, we want to let you guys hear from head coach Matt McMahon. He understands this is a tough process. He understood that back when he signed up for the job. His team just has to get better each week and try to improve on the little things. Here is head coach Matt McMahon here on Tigers Roar.
Thanks, Ken. I'll be brief. Credit to Tennessee. There's a reason they're one of the top 5 teams in the country. I think from our standpoint, to have an opportunity in a game like this, have to find some way to eliminate a lot of mistakes. Just really, you don't see numbers like that often where you turn it over and it leads to so many points. And when you're playing a top 5 team, they make you pay for every mistake, every single mistake, and that's what they did today. Both points off turnovers, you miss a switch, you miss a coverage on a flare screen, they make you pay every time. So credit to them. They got a terrific team. And for us, obviously being tested. We'll find out what we're about as we start preparation for the next opportunity on Tuesday.
You talked about the points off turnovers. And when you see 25 at halftime, I mean, have you ever seen anything like that? And I mean, it's hard to come back from something like that.
Sheldon, it doesn't give you any kind of chance to win, to be in the game. And they're really good at it. I think they lead the country in steals. They're the number 1 defense in the country for a reason. But we've got to find a way to eliminate some of the simple ones, the simple passes that need to be completed, because now you're playing in disadvantage in the open floor. And as I said in the opener, they make you pay every single time.
I know that's obviously a huge headline tonight, but you also, I mean, you guys shot 61% on twos tonight, and did seem to, at least show a little bit of improvement in that area. Do you think you guys were able to do that tonight?
Well, I think in the second half we were able to get to the rim some and finish plays, which has been a weakness of ours throughout league play. We just have shot a low percentage around the rim. In that area, I thought Jalen gave us a lift there in the second half with his aggressiveness off the dribble. Trey was able to get to the basket some, but then it comes back to those turnovers that put you in such a bad position.
I know winning is the bottom line, obviously, but when you play, how much against the number 9 team, does that give you a little bit of confidence?
Well, I think you have a team that is devastated right now, not from today, but just the last couple weeks and the totality of where we're at right now. And unfortunately, this is part of the process that we signed up for. And, so I think you have to try to find some positives, as difficult as that is. Obviously, everyone wants to win, but we have to figure out a way to take some positives from practices, from games, and try to build our program. I knew this was not going to be an easy task when we signed up for it. We got to continue to work and fight to try and build not only our team but the foundation of the program so that we can continue to improve.
Yeah, Coach, what would you say is the reason for all the miscommunication guarding the 3 today?
Well, I mean, I think it would be a lack of communication. I think, and they run great offense, and that's again what you're hoping to build is a program. When you start over from scratch, you're hoping to build something, and it doesn't happen overnight. And so you look back to year one and year two of where they were at, as opposed to where they're at now. You see that there is a system and style of play that they continue to get better and better in with their off-ball screening, their passing, their cutting. That's why they're one of the top assist rate teams in the country. But we missed multiple switches on James, who's a tough matchup when they go to their four-guard package, And then in one of their, they do a great job with their flare screens late in the possession. And like I said, once you relax and you fail to do your job, they make you pay. And they hit us on 3 flare screens for wing threes that really hurt us.
I know you mentioned the lift that Jalen Reed gave you in the second half, but can you just elaborate a little bit more? It seemed like he just put his head down on a couple buckets, especially there 2 and 3 in a row, and just went to the hoop.
Well, he's a unique player at 6'10", and he's not a back to the basket type guy. He's a perimeter slasher, and he's got great vision and is a good passer. And so it was good to see him be aggressive and get to the free throw line, get to the basket and finish some plays. He has really improved if you look back on the last 3 games on the boards. So got to continue to work and keep getting better.
I know it's tough in a 21-point loss to look at individuals, but KJ hitting 2,000 points in the second half.
Yeah, I mean it's a great credit to him for his work ethic, his commitment. He's an elite teammate. He just wants to help his team get better. He wants to help his team find ways to win. But I know he's had the bonus year here, but not many players go through their college career and go over 2,000 points. It's an even smaller fraternity of players who go over 2,000 points with 1,000 rebounds. And so, obviously very proud of him for the work that he's put in over these 4.5 seasons.
Coach, how do you keep this team engaged and focused knowing what you guys are going through?
Well, I think it's the question, and it's challenging. It really is. I mean, but it's the only chance you have to really establish how you want your program to move forward. And there's a lot of basketball left to be played this year. I think, and I could be wrong, last I checked, we had played the toughest SEC league schedule to this point. And so, I just think we're being tested. I know everyone's disappointed, players, coaches, fans, everyone wants to win. But again, I knew when I signed up for this, and I love LSU. I'm thrilled to be here. And I didn't expect us to come in here and it just be smooth sailing. And so I think, the one-on-one relationships within the program, you keep coming to work and finding ways to fight through it, find ways to improve, find ways to get better. But that's the way it has to go, and that's all there is to it.
Kind of going off that, I know you're saying that you expected these lumps and this is what you signed up for, but in the non-conference schedule, you had some big wins. You played Kansas State close, who's on a roll right now. Did you really think at that time that not only would you be here, but it would be to this degree?
Well, I mean, I'm certainly proud of some of the things that were accomplished early in the year, finding ways to win, coming back from 20 down against Wake Forest, the win against Arkansas in here, and life was good. And you're sitting there at 12-1, and that's when it's easy to be out front waving the towel and having a good time. When you hit the adversity and you get your butt kicked and things aren't going the way you would like for them to go, that's when you got to respond and find a way to make improvement. find a way to stay together as a team. All those things are critical. I mean, you can't just lay down and roll over and get your butt kicked the rest of the year. So we got to have a mindset to come in and work, to come in and improve. That's the only way I know to do it.
McMahon talking about there's a lot more basketball to be played this year, and they're just going to keep on grinding, keep on working. He doesn't know any way to do it, Budman.
Look, we wish him the best of luck. I think it's time for tough love. If LSU jacks up 3 or 4 in a row, and they just don't pass it, you're not seeing spacing, you're not seeing picking. Watch Tennessee, watch Alabama, watch all these good teams. LSU not playing anything close to that. But look, he's coming from Murray State.
Yep.
And what did we all say about Brian Kelly after they laid an egg against Florida State with the kick and then they got hammered by Tennessee? There were a lot of questions about Brian Kelly in year one. The difference is that football has a lot more players, and they ended up having a bunch of guys that obviously got better. And this is the problem that Tiger fans are having, JP. Yep. They're not seeing this basketball team get better. Now, when we come back, we're going to give you some NFL stuff, some LSU stuff. And, by the way, Alabama has replaced their offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien. They got him a gig with Belichick again. Pete Golding left to be the DC at Ole Miss. And now a new quarterback succeeding Bryce Young. Does that mean Alabama's not going to be the favorite in the SEC West? I don't think so. SEC West, in my opinion, still goes through Tuscaloosa. But how cool is it going to be? Florida State and LSU, both top 10 teams. That first Labor Day weekend, again, on Sunday night, everybody in the country will be watching.
We take our last break of the episode of Tigers Roar. Come back, we'll talk some NFL playoffs and a whole lot more. Don't go away. You are watching Tigers Roar.
Taste the feeling.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, gang. Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
You could be driving a
Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Before we continue, I want to remind you guys, check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. You see it right there on the screen. The graphic shows you right there. It's great to keep up with everything we do here on Tigers Roar, the Clarence Bug Show, a whole lot more. Go check us out, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Time to talk some NFL. The playoff picture is now fully underway. I mean, we had the divisional round this past weekend leading to the conference championships. Joe Burrow and the Bengals took on the Buffalo Bills up in Buffalo. A lot of emotions surround the Bills with the whole Damar Hamlin incident. He was at the game, allegedly. That was weird. Did you see any of that, Bud, man? How he was hiding his face the whole time?
I've heard all kinds of conspiracy theories. Look, with the snow, you're not going to have a clear window pane to look through. But he did wave to the crowd, but certainly it is you give thanks to the good Lord that young man ended up and is able to be with his teammate. All of that with the inclement weather and the snow. This is the first time Jamar Chase ever played in a snow game.
Right.
Now, Burrow, obviously, being from Ohio, has been there before. But, JP, all the things that you want Cincinnati to do, they took care of business. They were able to run the football and stay balanced. Burrow was able to have time and get rid of it quickly, and he got it into his playmakers. They've got excellent receivers around Chase, who caught the first touchdown pass. It's 14-0 before the Bill fans have had a sip of hot chocolate and a bag of peanuts. But they played really good throughout the game. And how about this? Jamar Chase catches the ball. We had this discussion on the show today. So when I was growing up, it was real simple. You catch a football and 1 foot in college, it's good.
Right.
In pro, you got to have 2 feet down. Jamar Chase catches the ball, boom, 1 foot, boom, the 2nd foot. What is so hard about saying that's a catch and a touchdown? They called it a touchdown on TV, and then they had a good 2 or 3 minute discussion. What the heck is going on in this world about once he possesses it with 2 feet in? Is that not a catch, and are we complicating things? Or clear me up.
No, certainly complicating things. Not sure anybody really understands what a catch is anymore in this NFL. I thought Jacob Hester really had a great point. He tweeted out during the game. He was like, look, I don't understand. If you just get a millimeter of that football over the goal line, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
If you don't advance any further, it doesn't matter. You already scored.
Sure.
But Jamar Chase, and not only – the ball never touched the ground. Yeah, it did roll around because Matt Milano was in there. Made a great play on the ball after the fact, so he did not. The ball wasn't secure all the way through the slide on the ground. But I completely agree with you. 2 feet inbound, securing the ball, going to the ground, that is a catch and a touchdown.
But they overturned it. Now, when you call a touchdown and you overturn it, you're supposed to have a ton of evidence to overturn it. So that happened. And then, of course, the day before, Patrick Mahomes got the vaunted high ankle sprain. Anybody that's ever competed knows that a high ankle sprain is appreciably tougher to deal with than a regular ankle sprain. And so he goes to the locker room and didn't want to go.
Right.
And they x-ray and all that. Chad Henning leads them on about a 93 or 94-yard drive, and they take care of business. How about Trevor Lawrence? He impressed me. Now, he threw 4 INTs in one game in the first half, came back and won that game, but that was a good ball game. So now the Bengals are 1.5-point favorites at Kansas City. That game, 5:30, 5:45 this Sunday. And Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts. Did you ever think Jalen Hurts, when he was at Alabama and that final year at Oklahoma, would lead a team to the Super Bowl at the next level? Because Philadelphia, to me, looks like the cream of the crop. Now, San Francisco's only a 2.5-point dog in this game, but it's going to be tough to beat Philly at Philly.
Yeah, it is hard to cheer against Jalen Hurts. I mean, the guy from Alabama to Oklahoma, he never gave up, would never trash his teammates or his coaches, was always very classy, on and off the field, always had production in college. But to answer your question, no, I did not see him coming into the league, taking his team to the Super Bowl in his third year, or possibly a trip to the Super Bowl. But you talked about Jag. Well, credit Doug Peterson coming in. Coach Peterson did a great job. The other guy that they had last year did an awful job. Trevor Lawrence looked like he didn't know what to do under center. He didn't have an idea about who to throw the ball, who was on his team. But he looked very good in the playoffs this season outside of that first half where he threw 4 interceptions, but they did come back to win that game. The Giants had no business being in that game. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, happy they made the playoffs the first time because a lot of people always want to trash on the Giants for being terrible, but they get embarrassed 38-7, so the Eagles advance and they take on the 49ers. And that was a pretty good game for Brock Purdy, and they were able to manage the chains, running the ball, and that defense for 49ers is outstanding. I mean, talk about Nick Bosa, but Jimmy Ward in the back, creating those turnovers. Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions. Look, in that wild card round, Dak Prescott looked unbelievable.
That was the best I've ever seen him in a playoff game.
Lighting the world on fire, and everybody was praising him.
Normal, though.
Yeah, he came back down to earth. That's right. Dak was going to Dak, and did he give up the interceptions? Ezekiel Elliott, who was one of the highest paid running backs in the league, I guess he's just like that prototypical 2 yards a carry back. I mean, he did not do anything towards the back half of that year, and this Dallas team was, again, loaded with talent. A team, again, that did not live up to the expectations. They finished in the final 8 this year, so that's an improvement. And there's a lot of Dallas fans out there saying, fire the coach. And I agree that I never thought that Mike McCarthy was a great fit for Dallas, but making it to the final 8 to the divisional game, I mean, that's an improvement.
They're probably going to keep Mike McCarthy. Oh, by the way, only in America you are Dak Prescott, and you get the insane kind of money that he is getting on that contract. And, oh, by the way, their kicker missed 4 PATs, and here it is. He's 0 for 4. Now, he did kick 2 field goals that he made in their previous playoff game, but 4 in a row, and he gets the first one at San Francisco blocked. So they've got some real problems. Jerry Jones, of course, as we know, brilliant businessman, does not want to let go, and McCarthy looks like he's going to be back. Of course, Dak Prescott, you can't do anything with that contract. So Philadelphia and KC, if the NFL gets their way because of the geography and the number of TV sets. Oh, by the way, San Francisco and the Cowboys, 45.8 million watching. Buffalo and Cincinnati, 45.1 watching. We'll see what happens in these AFC and NFC championship games this weekend.
That's right. So NFC's first. That's 2 o'clock game on Sunday. It's the 49ers at the Eagles. The Eagles are number 1 seed all year. Almost messed it up against the Saints in the last couple games in the regular season, but they did take the number 1 seed, so they have home field advantage. A big deal playing in front of those Philly crowds. Those fans can be ruthless, so that's a big deal to have the home field advantage for Philadelphia. Taking on a very good 49ers team with a rookie quarterback. Going to the AFC side, Bengals versus Chiefs. That game's at 5:30. Of course, Chiefs are the home team. There was kind of some up in the air about if there was going to be a neutral game site in Atlanta if the Bengals weren't taking on the Chiefs, right? But so, as Sean Payton said, Atlanta misses the playoffs again. So, yeah, no harm, no foul there. And I expect Joey Burrow, the new king of the North, has been anointed. And the Bengals are going to take care of business again. They're 4th in a row against the Chiefs, and Joey B's going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I want to see Joe Burrow once again. What kind of protection will they give him? Got to get rid of it quickly. As you know, ball protection, can't afford to turn it over. But, oh, by the way, LSU, Florida State, going to be 2 top 10 teams. And LSU playing Houston to open up the 2027 season, that announced today in NRG Stadium.
For Marty, our Florida director, and Katie and AT in the truck, he's the Budman, Buddy Songy, and I'm Jonathan Poche. We certainly appreciate you watching this episode of Tigers Roar.